Good day, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are with Doom 64. Now, this is going to be a little different. I have no idea what survival horror actually entails, seeing as I haven't really played this game all that much. So let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. I can only be sure that means it's going to be super difficult. We're going to have like no ammo, and that guy just blew up. Yeah. It's definitely going to be a little more difficult than likely the Hurt Me Plenty. Well, actually, I don't know if this has Hurt Me Plenty. I think it's something else. But I figured trying this on survival horror might be rather interesting for a Let's Play, seeing as how we've done a bunch of survival horror games on. I don't know why I'm not shooting these guys. On this particular channel, so why not? Because survival horror games are really a great deal of fun, provided you can save all the time. Which I do indeed do. This is a very cool intro, though. I already remarked on it in my first impressions video. It definitely is very much a cinematic intro. Let's grab that health, though I don't even need it. But it's ultimately not really difficult, as you would expect. Alright, so here we are. There's still nothing there, though. I remember there being enemies there. Sweet. Wait, actually, we can go back here? Ooh, it's a Berserk pack. But still, though, I always have felt that the Berserk packs are of, shall we say, limited utility in some respects. Okay, let's stick with the pistol. I'm not really sure what makes this survival horror-y yet. I know what if I'm pretty sure we'll see something that'll make us die every 5 steps. And for some reason, I'm still getting those little hiccups. I don't get why it still does that. I've checked so many things. I've done so many things, this bloody thing, to make it stop. I honestly think it's the graphics card. Computer area map. Sweet. Da-da-da-da-do. Yeah, I've checked so many things, so you're just gonna have to bear with me, I suppose. It doesn't happen all the time. I've had it reduced in frequency, but that's just the glory of being a part of the PC gaming master race. Honestly, I think it is the graphics card, but since the graphics card works well enough, I have literally no intention of getting a replacement for some time. Well, so far, I'm not really seeing what makes this survival horror-ish. Maybe it hasn't been implemented yet. Maybe we need a day 1 patch. Survival horror DLC. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, I've actually learned a great deal about the illustrious... What is it, you may ask? About the illustrious Duke Nukem World Tour. I first complained about this in the... Oh, I did a lot of... Well, I guess that's survival horror, isn't it? Those demons can do a shitload of damage to you. At least they look like demons in this game. Honestly, this is probably the second best looking Pinky, to be perfectly honest. Because it actually looks legitimately scary. This game is a pretty creepy kind of game. This is definitely along the lines of Quake more than it is Doom in many respects, because of its overall atmosphere. And I can see why it's stayed in the popular consciousness. But I definitely did not play this back when it first came out. I rented it a couple times, I think, but really back then I hadn't moved on from Doom, but since I had the PC Doom, I thought, what's the point of getting Doom on the N64 when I could get other games, you know, like Turok 1, Turok 2, and Rogue Squadron. There was that one, but that's not a first-person shooter game, though. But you gotta keep in mind, though, back in the day, you know, getting a new game was not an easy prospect. And I don't have the shotgun for some reason. That's not good! I thought I'd picked it up. Ah, well, fuck it. But yeah, this is definitely a much more understated mod. It does not change all that much that I can see. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, seeing as how few people have played the legit Doom 64. Because, once again, it's on the N64, and it was somewhat more difficult to play. I mean, you had to have a TC to get it to actually play it on anything other than the N64. And, you know, I imagine the controls worked fairly well. I don't really remember if they were good or bad or not, since it's been so bloody long. But, you know, if it came down between this one and, well, I think it probably, well, actually, no, I would have thought back then, because it wouldn't be until, you know, fairly recent years when I'd actually recognize that there was a difference between console and PC in many respects. Back in the day, it's like, well, it's the same game, right? It would have to be. So I would have just thought, oh, it's Doom, it's got to be the same game as the computer version. Why would I get it again? And so if it came down between this and, say, you know, a Turok game, I always like to go to Turok. Or GoldenEye, that was another one. That was another one that everybody wanted back then. That of course I had. Although I had it used, but it came with the original box. I still have it with the box and instruction manual. I wanted GoldenEye so bad back in the day. I absolutely loved GoldenEye in that particular era. I still do. GoldenEye does hold up. Now I never played it multiplayer because I never had any friends to play it with. So I just played it single player and absolutely loved it. It is a very fun single player game indeed. Controls for that game are pretty good on the N64. Probably, I think people can get into those controls a little better than they could, say, the Turok controls. Now this is a very cool room. The lighting here is absolutely excellent. And really, this game has only been improved slightly since its release. But it's like this is only a slight improvement, which goes to show you that Doom 64 had a lot. It brought a lot to the table. Like it really, really did. All right, so that staging area. Still not really seeing why this would be considered survival horror difficulty. I'm actually playing this pretty easily, to be perfectly honest. One thing I do intend to do though is I'll swap back to the pistol just in case there's no... Oh, he just exploded. I love that. I'll swap back to the pistol and use it since I got more ammo for it just in case. I'm going to use my survival horror skills that I got from playing Resident Evil. And I think I will do a couple episodes of Resident Evil 2 at some point as well. I might not finish the game since that is a big game, but I might play a little bit of it for you guys on the channel. Now, I don't really like the NVGs. I never was a big fan of these, even in the base Brutal Doom. But I think I also might do some of these levels with the Project Brutality. That's what it is. Might do that just since it does add new enemies and stuff like that. Although I imagine the levels will work with Project Brutality. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. Although, even as I say I don't like the NVGs, they do work, so I guess I can't complain too much. Well, then again, I am GeneralLotz. I'll complain about whatever I want. I will punch things in half. I complain about that so much. Smack, smackety smack. I still think that the Doom 2016 execution's just so awesome, and the Doom 2016 Berserk pack just works so much better. Because I love the animations for that. They just look so awesome. I'm not taking any damage while I'm actually berserked, which is exactly like in Doom 2016. That's like I always said. Like the Berserk pack just was such a limited utility in the original game, at least as far as I could tell. Still not seeing why this is survival horror. I'm not finding myself dying any more than I would normally. He says as he saves, so that just in case, use the chain gun. I don't know if this is the original sound. If it's not, I don't really care, but it does sound really, really good. Now, I wonder though, it's like the ammo drops don't seem any less. The enemy counts don't. I guess the enemies do more damage potentially, but it could just be that I'm such a Doom pro that I'm not taking any damage from them. Although we did get killed rather quickly by that. Pinky, and well, yeah, he did a good amount of damage, the imp here, but still though, I'm not, or maybe they like teleport in all over the place, maybe that's it, you know, because they are teleporting around a bit. That could be what's making it. Yeah, those guys are there. Okay, that's what happens in here. We still got ammo and health, but they teleport in, so you can't fully clear an area. That's what it is. So this is kind of like, in some respects, Nightmare, because Nightmare you can't fully kill enemies. Well, if you give them, or jib them, or whatever the case may be. I always called it giving back in the day. And goddamn it, I'll call it whatever the fuck I want. Anybody don't like it, go fuck themselves. We always called it gibbing back in the day, and I'm gonna call it gibbing today. That's a lot of fucking people. Or specters. Always like the Nightmare Spectre. It's a very cool design. The whole game, you know, it's funny. Console ports today are so stripped down for the masses, but back in the day, you know, they would try to do a lot of different things with the various console ports. It's like they used to put so much more effort into these games than they do today. It's really sad. And that's some cool new animations they got on the by shooting with the chain gun. That is pretty good. That's the one thing, you know. Probably shouldn't be recording this first thing in the morning. But I was thinking about all the things I wanted to say about this particular mod here. But that's the thing about Sergeant Mark IV. He always does indeed include a lot of really good animations. That's one thing about 2D versus 3D. You know, in 3D, he probably couldn't include as many animations as he does. Yeah, you do take a lot more damage. He probably couldn't include as many animations as he does. And I think, you know, I'd rather have a well-animated 2D sprite versus a simply animated 3D model. So there is that, ladies and gentlemen. Just got to be kicking it old school. That's the thing. Like I've always said, you know, when the 3D revolution came about, I still thought that the original 2D animation looked a lot better. It looked a lot less shitty in some respects. And, you know, even to this day, you compare 2D hand-drawn animation to 3D stuff, and half the time, you know, the 2D stuff still looks a lot better than 3D. It just has a bit more of an artistic touch to it. And of course, I say that, and I do like, you know, the 3D Resident Evil games versus the 2D bitmaps. But then again, you know, those 2D bitmaps still look pretty good. But I'll tell you this, though, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to graphics, I definitely don't mind older graphics. You know, there's some people who, unless it has the greatest graphics ever, they just can't enjoy the game. But for me, you know, the gameplay and story really have to, and that's really cool. Instead of it just moving up and down, it smashes through the rock. You see, it's little elements like that that just, it's really the candied flower on the cake, that's for sure. But yeah, you know, modern games really just don't interest me as much as they used to. Another reason why I'm not getting a new graphics card for a while. It's just, what's the point, I have to ask. You know, it's like, with a modern game, you get less advanced gameplay, less advanced story, you get less advanced everything. So it's like, why am I going to spend my money on these things? It's like Battlefield 1, you know. With Battlefield 1, what you get is a stripped down single player. Now, like, if you play that stuff multiplayer, and I don't really anymore, I guess that's good, but I like a single player experience. I like, you know, playing through a story. And used to be, you know, single player used to be a, well, I find it funny that Doom kind of, well, I hope it does, brings that back. Because Doom, you know, it had a single player that was just much more memorable for it. Because you don't always want to play against other people. Because, like, there is a considerable difference between playing against playing against AI enemies like this and playing against other people. Playing against other people requires that you really pay attention and study all the different multiplayer tips and tricks, otherwise you're gonna die all the goddamn time. Whereas with this, you know, we're going through the game, playing the game and having fun. You know, whatever happened to playing games for fun? When did that happen? It's kind of like reading comic books for fun, and they're not having to be horribly political. Well, that's one thing I do find amusing is some people are saying that, like, Sergeant Mark IV is horribly racist. But then there's a quote that I'm reminded of how everything is racist, everything is sexist. You got to point it all out, apparently. So yeah, who's to say anymore? You know, it's like people just, well, not all people, but it seems like there's a lot more annoying people these days than there were in the past, you know, because god damn it. It's like, Sergeant Mark IV is evil because somebody said he was. And, you know, it just goes to show you that no matter what somebody does, somebody else has to take... Yeah, now we're starting to get an enemy count. Holy shit, we're getting enemies now. Let's get out that chain gun. I think, you know, now that I'm playing this, I might have spoke a little too soon saying chain gun wasn't as good as an assault rifle. I do like the assault rifle. Oh, okay, well, here's the survival horror. Oh, where's the survival horror? No Covenant. You had to open your mouth. Halo. I should definitely do something Halo related at some point. It's just, you have to... oh, no. Okay, good. Okay, good. You know, at least we're not that far back. I'd hate to have to go all the way back. Okay, let's just... Wait, do I already have the red key? Yeah, I do. Well, let's reload the save. And I won't be cheating in this particular playthrough. I don't know how far I'm gonna get. Might just like do 2 episodes and then move on to something else. And then maybe come back to it. But yeah, everybody's got to tear down everybody if they try to do anything good. It's the tall poppy syndrome, right? The tall poppy gets clipped or something along those lines. So remember, kids, always be sure to be as mediocre as possible. That way, nobody feels bad. Ugh. But that's the way it goes, though. I mean, it's like, somebody might feel bad because you did good. Can't have that. It's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people. Because the whole idea is, it doesn't matter if you feel bad because you haven't succeeded. That should inspire you to try and succeed. Because if nobody succeeds at all, then if nobody has the ability to succeed, then what's the point? You know? What's the point of even trying? I guess the thing is, don't try. I guess the concept is, you know, the government will try for you. How about that? Is that something... I always like to ask people, like, is that the kind of world you want to live in where there's literally no reason to try, there's no reason to do anything because the government will do it for you? But then who are the people in the government? Why are they doing it? You know, so it's just like, I think when it comes to Sergeant Mark IV, people just are jealous of his abilities and have to tear him down. And the easiest way to tear somebody down these days is just say he's racist, say he's sexist, you know? And it's really sad. But I think people are starting to get pissed off about it, because not everybody's like that. I mean, of course there are a number of people like that, but I don't think everybody is really into the whole everything is sexist, everything is racist kind of mindset. I mean, you know what's crazy, ladies and gentlemen? There was actually, I think it was either an article or a video, one or the other. Ah, it was an article! There was a instructor, well, teacher, idiot is more likely the name, and I believe it was Oklahoma, who mentioned that to be white is to be racist. Even though, isn't that technically racist by painting an entire, well, I wouldn't say race because I don't believe in that sort of thing. Painting an entire skin color as being something, is that not racist in and of itself? And yeah, I know that's really political. Actually, no, that's not political. That is somebody being an asshole. Somebody being racist, and I'm pointing it out, goddammit. I'm not going to be afraid to say something. Ultimately, yeah, that is something that is terrible. And that is... I just do not understand why people just let that go. Didn't think I'd be talking... But you didn't think you'd hear something like that in a Brutal Doom 64 Let's Play, did you? But I am GeneralLotz, and I'll say stuff that no one else does. And that's the thing. That's the case of me in real life. Because like I always like to say, this isn't really an exaggerated form of me. It's me literally just talking into the microphone. I would say this stuff normally. Shit. Okay, let's save. This is a bad place to save. But then again, I am an idiot. Alright, let us take... Look at how much damage he did. But see, though, this is a little better than way back in the day when we did... It's a little better balanced than Quake-style Doom in many respects, and I'm actually enjoying. I'm enjoying this level of difficulty. See, the thing is, though, I don't mind difficult games. Fuck. I don't mind difficult games. I just like the difficulty to be well balanced. Otherwise, it just pisses me off. Because, like, imagine if they just spawned like 50 imps out there, and each one could take me down to half health. Instead, you know, there's a demon, and he just bit my fucking head off. I can deal with that. I can go for that, you know? It's not that big a deal. I'm playing this on survival horror difficulty is absolutely excellent. Because it's just hard enough to be a whole bunch of fun. See, like, I like hard and I like fast games. And this works quite well indeed. Well, you know, eventually I'll be able to hit that fucking imp. I'll try to do some long-range gunfire here. The shotgun in this game is thankfully... about as well, it's not as accurate as you'd expect, but it's more accurate than your standard video game shotgun. I guess that was a complaint of shit. Who's shooting at me and where? There he is. I want to save like right in front of an enemy and just die every time I spawn in. Just duck down, try to get some cover, grab some cover. You're hurt. Take cover. But yeah, Battlefield 1. You know, it looks like it is very generic. Very generic indeed. But then again, that is Battlefront for you, or Battlefield for you. But in any event, I am GeneralLotz, wishing you more good Brutal Doom 64, whatever makes you happy.